Yo, what is up, YouTube? So we are back out here today with another video, and so what I'm going to be doing today is starting another series on this truck. So we already have a bunch of parts out. I might just write part 7 or something, or whatever part we're on now for this truck. All right, I had to switch over to this 0.5 view for you guys. So this is the last time we see the truck at this height. This probably isn't a recommended project for anybody, but I love custom cars, custom with a K. Old school traditional customs stuff kind of has a just a hold on me on this project. I've seen a lot of really cool, inspiring builds, and in our area there is a bit of a custom scene. Big shout out to Richie Kingpin for just being a big advocate and hosting all these cool events with his car club, the Kingpins. And I went there and it's just like, oh man, really motivated me. The Ruin Car Club had their Lowrider barbecue show, and that also kind of motivated me to just really start this project out of the 4x4. And even my friend Mike Maurice, growing up, he was the first guy I had seen with, any Lowrider style vehicle. So as though she does need a bed, this is the start of the project. So please remember that all of this is just a blank canvas currently. So yeah, there is a lot of ugly in this, but that's okay. This bed is just basically a template at this point. I am actively looking for a new one, and we're going to jump right in now. So what I'm going to do is, before I start cutting any mounts, I'm actually just going to cut the bolts for the bed. I mean, it looks like some of them may even already be broken. So we're going to come in here and literally just take a Sawzall in between the bed and the mount. Take a Sawzall in between the bed and the mount, cut them. I'm not even gonna try to see if they break loose. I just don't mind at this point. To take the bed off, we're going to remove the filler neck with Phillips head screws. We're going to remove the tail lights, the wiring harness. This tailgate is still good. Might have a little rust. We're actually gonna check right now with you guys. Yeah, she's getting a little crusty, but she'll do for now. This project's going to take a long time before it's done. This is going to be a very long project. The big project that we're doing is changing the fuel tank right off. And on top of that, we're going to be cutting out these 2-inch body mount, this body lift essentially. That's what it is. And in doing so, I have to drop the whole truck of the 2 inches. It's roughly 2 inches. I'll measure it out and get you a more precise measurement. But when I do that, I'm going to take out these body mounts, and essentially that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to take out these body mounts first. I'm going to go back here, make sure they're the same as those body mounts, and we're going to drop the cab right on the frame. Now that sounds interesting, and it definitely is. I'm going to have to think of all the things like my brake lines. I'm going to have to think about how my bumper is going to stay here as the body goes down, so I have to take the front bumper off. My wiring harness, as you can see, sits right there. Anything that sits on the frame is going to have to be relocated to the side of the frame. This is going to be a very big project. And like I said, that's that custom car culture. We are turning this 4x4 into a lowrider. All I'm going to get out of it is 2 more inches of drop. It's not even going to be anything crazy. And I don't know. We're just committed. We're going to make things happen. So this is the last side shot we'll see. And time to grab the Sawzall and start cutting away. Well, sadly, guys, you just can't make this stuff up. The cup that's in there, all the spot welds are broken. The last fuel tank I ordered from Rock Auto, at the very bottom, one of the spot welds gave out. So, I don't know. They're good with their warranty, so they'll replace it, but definitely a little aggravating. So, I don't know if the fuel tank will get changed in this video or not yet. Might come back to it. But it's just going to be a multiple part series anyway. But anyway, like I said, I think the first thing I'm going to do is remove the good old tailgate. Don't want her getting damaged. These ones are pretty funny. You have to lift and twist them the opposite ways. You have to lift and flip them the other way, push in to take them off. And then we should be able to just lift it right out. Wonderful. Looking uglier already. I think we're going to have to unbolt that bumper at some point. I do really want to keep my bumper, but a roll pan is just so accessible. We're going to take the Sawzall, get up in here, and start cutting those mounts. All right, so we're under here now, and this seems to be the last. This right here seems to be our last mount. I'm just going to cut this straight in half. We cut that one up there and the one at the very front, and I think there's just there's 3 on this side as well. All right, guys, and now we're gonna cut off this brace right up here, and then I have one more in the middle and the back, and we will be all set to try to take the bed off. Well, okay, we got the screws out of here. They weren't coming out, so I pushed them through the bed for now. I'm gonna have to get a little custom with this, maybe order a new filler neck later. But until then, we're going to now back the truck up to the yard, and I'm just gonna take the bed, throw it in the grass. I mean, this bed is junk. I'm not worried about putting it on wood or anything. Maybe I will later in my free time, but definitely a good step in the right direction so far, and excited to move this thing. I had to give you guys a little tack out. That was important. It's probably just the wire wheels, but even without the bed, it looks so sick. So one thing I will be doing is cleaning this frame up. It needs it drastically. That is like an understatement. Look at this thing. Got myself my own trampoline. Anyway, no more messing around. Yeah, this truck is extremely hack. I needed to get a new bed for it anyway. It is time. Wow, look how crusty this thing is. Everybody's like, oh, why don't you save it? Like, that is why. The spray foam special. And, yeah, that's pretty crazy. I just drop a bed liner in it usually. Leave it in there. But, yeah, so this whole frame's going to get just kind of shaved down the best I can. I'm not going to, like, sandblast it and powder coat it. I'm just going to sand it down and paint it. And actually, you know what's really cool is I might go the extra mile and like paint this something crazy too. So we'll see. I won't get too ahead of myself yet. But yeah, look at that. I gotta cut this off now. Get all these mounts free. Get a scraper. Spend a couple days scraping my frame. There's that razor blade I was just looking for. Remove the harness down there. It looks pretty cool though. Wow, not bad. It looks cool because it looks clean as can be because there's no more rusty bed on there. So it looks like a really clean truck. I have not located a new bed yet, and I'm just going to keep this bed as a template for now. So bear with me there, I guess. And, yeah, this all should be very interesting. But for right now, pretty happy to see that. Once I get the bed on there, once I get the new fuel tank in, going to work on a new exhaust. As you can see, that's a pretty hack exhaust. It's self-tapered, because the weld's finally broke, and the hanger is like a battery tie down right there. And the hanger, I mean, it is hack. This truck is not pretty, but that's okay. That's why we are here, boys and girls. And so, wow, looking pretty good right now. I'm pretty happy with this. This makes me smile a bit. She looks so beautiful right now, and like this paint is so terrible. And when I get a new bed, it's honestly probably just going to get spray painted for the time being until I do a full paint job. So it's just baby steps in the land of the black truck build. No shocks back there right now. That's always super funny. I don't plan on running shocks when I hydro it. And for the bumper, I might get lucky back here. It looks like there's different mounting holes. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive maybe? That would give me that 2 inches of drop I need. And these are the mounts I see. It seems I'm going to have to weld. So I'm going to have to cut this somewhere up here maybe. Cut this down here. Bring this down. Maybe add a plate of metal. Or just install a whole new plate of metal and drill a hole in it all together. Right here I'm going to cut out that hole. And even these are just probably going to get cut straight down. I'm not too sure. The cab mounts are really what's going to tell me what I'm going to cut. So when I cut this mount out, I'm going to take it and measure it to this mount and see how much I'm going to cut out of it. So definitely got some work ahead of me. Now all the holes are done, and I don't wear shorts. I'm wearing a bathing suit because it's hot out. It's the only pair of shorts I have. My hair's a mess because I was at car shows all day. We're working on this truck right now. Man hours. Okay, so I already know doing this, I'm opening up a bag of worms, but if I didn't do this, this truck would be done forever. So, here's to giving this truck a second chance at life. to be quite honest, it is a little crazy to say because I'm already here. I would love to find a two-wheel drive parts truck. I really love the commitment of making my 4x4 two-wheel drive. But if I could find a clean enough two-wheel drive parts truck, I would essentially take the frame, anything I need to off this, and swap it all onto there. At that point, it would sadly, realistically just be the cab. Like, I need new bumpers, I need a new bed, I need new rockers, but I don't mind welding those in. I would keep as much of the interior as possible, even though a lot of it's been swapped. My hood's good. Both my fenders have already been replaced. The grill's been replaced, headlights been replaced, all the lights in the front lip is new. Even then, I wouldn't mind a new front bumper. That would be straighter. I don't know, I would just take as many things from this as possible and convert it. I don't have any issues keeping all this, but if I went to a two-wheel drive, I mean, I'm doing all of this work to cut out 2 inches when a two-wheel drive, I could be this low in minutes. Like, it would take me all of like 2 hours to get that low. So there's a lot of pros and cons, and I've already done a lot of stuff, but I can swap over all this new drop, spindle, upper control arms, etc., if I found a clean enough two-wheel drive. So that's also on the table. Even then, like I said, I need a different gear ratio. Like, we're talking a lot of custom things. So yeah, that's always another option on the table. But even then, if I could find a two-wheel drive vehicle that was hitting the front, I can transfer all of this over to the, I can transfer a lot of the body panels and stuff I need over to the 4x4. So we do have options. I do have a little bit of time. Like I said, I haven't found a bed yet, so lots of choices. But I also mentioned that because it may have cleaner brake lines, etc. And the big thing is, too, with the two-wheel drive frame, like I said, this is the biggest thing that keeps us from going low, is the fact that this was made for a 4x4 front differential, XYZ. The upper control arms sit lower on the frame to lift it higher. We deal with a lot with this. This is like no man's land right here. I don't know if anybody's cut the body lift out of their 4x4 to convert it to a two-wheel drive. So lots of strange things, man. I don't know why I do this to myself. But until then, just know these are all options we got to weigh out. I do want to shave that third eye brake light as well. But in other news, we are going to dismount this rear bumper as well. This is just going to be in the way currently. And look at that. Yeah, that is 2 inches of lift, and there's extra holes. So I don't think I need to do anything crazy with the back bumper. I think we can just remount that with different holes. I like that. Yeah, look at that. Actually, right there. 2-inch mounting difference. That's awesome. And I'm going to replace all the nuts and bolts. So the ones I cut off, they are just getting replaced. And up in the front here, this front bumper is going to be another story. They don't give you extra holes for the front bumper, so I might have to drill my own holes, make something work. I need a new radiator support. And the worst of it, this is probably just going to be part 1 of the video. This is going to be called the tear down, we'll call it. And right down here, you can see we got a hole in the frame. And holes in the frame actually really don't scare me. That doesn't bother me at all. That's patchable, weldable. Guys, so we're going to take some PB Blaster, and we're going to clean up all of our stuff, you know what I mean? Get all these bolt heads and nuts and all the things I'm going to be taking apart full of PB Blaster. So over here, we're going to have some nuts and bolts with the fuel tank. Well, it's going to be really tricky to find. But we're going to make sure these are all hit with PB Blaster so they can sit overnight. Anything I got to mess with, I know these probably aren't going to get penetrated, but it's worth a try. Just really get them. And over on this side now, I'm going to take my wrench right here. It's an 18 millimeter. We got an 18 millimeter socket, and get this bumper off. Well, all right, guys, getting the bumper off has been pretty easy so far. We're going to take this and go. Now we're going to go to this side, and always good to have these universal hammers that also ratchet. And our bumper is off. Now, finding another chrome bumper is going to be super tricky. There is a good chance we may go for a roll pin, but I really do enjoy the chrome bumper, and being a Lowrider, the chrome is nice, so we'll see as we go. Well, all right, everybody. I just wanted to say this video was definitely more of a rant, kind of going through, again, what we've got going on with the truck. So I think in the next video, hopefully we get a new fuel tank by then. If not, it's not a big deal. I'm going to leave the fuel tank attached until I get a new tank. That way I can move it around the yard. We've dropped the bed down. That bed is cooked. Like I said, I'm going to keep it as a template just to put on and off the truck. And by the time I lower the cab and the bed mounts, I might have to continue using this bed until I can find a new one. And if so, that's completely okay. It's not a forever bed at this point. And another thing we might do in the upcoming video, or maybe even in this video if I have enough time left, is I definitely want to cut in between here and see how big this mount is. And it sounds crazy. This carpet is not pretty, so don't judge. It was a work truck for many years by my grandfather and myself. But I might have to cut my transmission tunnel and lift the metal. So I got a lot of really cool custom ideas for this. I know you guys might be like, oh, that's so hack. But I mean, I'm just having fun, man. This is going to be a full custom truck. You're not going to see that I cut the transmission tunnel. Maybe a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. I just plan on like raising it and then using some structural metal, tie it down and make the carpet fit. But yeah, I think we're going to make some real progress. And like I said, I'll try to think of some ideas on what to paint the frame. I mean, there's so much just wrong with it. I need some new plate lights too. Those are not pretty. The fuel tank needs some love. I think everything with the differential is fine. That carrier bearing. Actually, I forgot this one doesn't have a carrier bearing. This is one piece. Yes. One upside to the 4x4 so far. Probably the only side. Look at that. O2 sensor just butchered. So that's got to come off. I do got to change my vehicle speed sensor. I think that's why my speedometer stopped working. I mean, this is a project. And is it worth it? To me, yeah. To anybody else that likes the value of vehicles? No way. So, again, thank you all so much for checking out today's video. Again, a lot of rambling, just talking about ideas. If you guys have any cool ideas, shoot them away at me in the comments below. Like, I would love to hear what you guys have to think. I do want to engrave a bunch of parts on the truck. I mean, I have endless ideas. Like, this thing is going to be so cool by the time it's done. It's not going to be slammed. Like I said, that extra 2 inches is going to go a long way. And it's just for fun. I really just want to three-wheel down by the beach and get some clips of that. And that is going to be all for me. I do want to see if there is a way I can do away with all of this. I think this is just like evap stuff. I doubt it even works. I mean, look at that, all that old sensors. It's over 25 years old anyway. I don't have to go through emissions. And even if I did it, this truck would be exempt because it's over the age of 25. I am still running CAT and all that to have this truck as a completely legal truck because, you know, it's a truck I'd want to drive. So as long as it's safe and completely legal, that's all that matters to me. And again, thank you so much for checking out today's video. I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I keep rambling. Much love to you all. Peace.